Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back down to the workshop. I hope everybody's fine and coping okay with everything that's going on lately. Stay at home, stay safe guys, okay? So to pass the time and give me something to do as well as you, I've come up with another video for you. So today we're going to be doing a flame effect, how I would put flames onto a weapon. Now I have done this previously on a couple of weapons and I'll put some pictures up, either one of the two sides anyway. But for this one I'm going to put it on this little throwing dagger I've got. Okay, so it's just going to extend the flames off here. Very simple, very easy to do. We don't need too much gear for it either. So we'll jump straight into that. But before we do, if you're new here guys, please hit the subscribe button and the bell. You'll be alerted when I go live with new stuff. You can see all the social links below if you want to get in touch with Instagram, my Etsy store and previous other work I've done before down there. And if you want to help me and the channel out, please consider going over to Patreon and helping me out there. Okay guys, so let's jump straight back into it. Okay, so I've got my little throwing dagger that I'm going to be adding this to. Now this is all varnished up and everything, so what I do to this, it's not going to stick anyway, but I will glue it on just so you can see what I mean. Now all I've got here is some 2mm scrap foam. Okay, doesn't take much. Okay, for the first, we're going to do this in 3 layers. Okay, I like to do it in 3 layers. Now your first layer is going to be the biggest, middle one smaller, last one, you know, the tiniest bit. So what I need is a part to go just off the center line of this blade and just off the tip, so starting from like here where my thumb is and going back that way to about here. Okay, so I only need something that long, and it needs to be a good, I don't know, maybe a little bit bigger than that, so we'll probably go with that, use that. Okay, now drawing flames is very easy. Okay, the tips are always in a spike and it's waves, like a wave going up. So start at the corner and then work your way out. I like to do it at like a 45-degree angle, so I will show you. So you're just doing like little waves against each other and at random intervals. You can go as low or as high as you like that. Okay, now because this is my first bit, I need it to be quite big, so I'm not going to start down here, I'm going to start up here. Alright, so I'm just going to wave it up just nice and loose. I'm going to have some low points, but not all. Now remember, we've got to cut this out. So try not to put too much in. Okay, so simple like that. Now, using a really sharp knife, cut that out. Right, so there, oh, there's a bit on that, is my first set of flames. Okay, so that will be glued on there like that, quite high up. Now I can go a little bit lower, so only a little bit of the flames are sticking off. Okay, so that's going to get glued onto there, and we'll do that now. Okay, just give that a waft. So from one side it looks, you know, crap. From this side we're getting there. Alright, now we're going to do the next layer. Now the next layer's got to hide the beginning of this here and this bit. So what I'm going to do is just cut that bit off there because it's going a little bit long. Okay, so it's going to be like a layer that is going to go over here like that. So this layer covers this line and just goes over the top of that. Now you can extend higher than these if you wish. It's entirely up to you, but you don't need to. Now remember, we're not going past this middle line, so I only need a couple of mil past this bit, yeah, and to go up about halfway, yeah. So we're trying to go up about around this area. Okay, so it's going to be roughly about 15 mil wide. Now, rather than me thinking, okay, I can cut all that out there, we've got this. Now this is my offcut. Now if I turn that around, I've got instant flames. All I need to do is just trim it to where I need it. Now a lot of these are going to be like bubbles, so just cut them sharp to make it look a bit more flame-like. Okay, so rather than wasting it, I've just turned it upside down. Remember, this fit in there like so. So we might as well use it. And that is going to get glued onto there like so. So a little bit lower there. Okay, now there's still a little bit too much on there, so I'm going to cut a bit more off. And that gets glued on. That's almost ready. We've got one more layer to do, which is just going to hide this seam. Now when we do this, you're going to have to smooth the bottom end off. So what I tend to do is like a chamfer. So when that goes on there, it smooths in basically. Okay, now this wants to be quite small. It doesn't want to be going too high at all. there we have flames going off one side. Now that's one side. Obviously we need to do this side, and you just marry them up. Now they don't have to be exact. In fact, when they brush over each other, that's what you want. You want some brushing over that side, some brushing over that side. Okay, so remember, use the other side. So that's a bit small for our first one, but could possibly be our second or third. So I will do this side now. There you go. So we have the blade. The top is now covered in a flame. Okay, so now we're going to go on to painting. Okay, so I've got my paints here. Now, if this was going to be a proper LARP weapon, like if I was going to varnish this on top and make sure I was going to use it as a flaming dagger type thing, I would cover it in in latex, 6 coats of latex, and then flexi paint. Now, the reason I do flexi paint is because it does leave a flexible paint. It won't crack. And then when we add the varnish on to protect it, it's just, no matter how much twisting and turning, how much bending, squeezing, it doesn't matter. It will not break. Okay? The Tamara paint's just had a little bit of texture. But for this tutorial, all I'm going to do is, there's no latex on this, as you can see. Yeah, all I've done is literally just glued that on. I'm just going to go straight in with the paints. So the first thing we're going to do is everything's white, okay, as you can see. Now, I have the white here just in case, but I actually find it easier to do the whole thing red and then go lighter towards the bottom. So towards the ends, reds. And then we go into the oranges, yellows, and white. White is the hottest. Okay, so I'm going to cloak the whole thing in red. And for that, I'm probably going to use the Flexi Paint red. Right, here we go. Okay, so now we're going to dry that. Right, it's not quite dark red enough, but it's enough to give us the idea. So next we're going to go in with the orange. Now remember, you've got 3 layers, so you've got to do 3 layers of the orange, and I'll explain what I mean. Now this wants to be like part of the way down and not quite to the bottom. Okay, so there's the orange. You see it's starting to blend in now. Let's dry that off. Okay, now we'll go on to the yellow. Now this is really going to start brightening up now, guys. So this goes below the orange. And if you go on the spirally parts, you want it just in the middle, not near the edges. Last one is the white. So all along the bottom and just little points, you know, on the other levels where you think a little bit of white would have crept up. So this is the center, if you like. last bit is to go around every edge, every tip in this red. So all the edges and the tips now in red. Yeah. Now, if we had the varnish on it, that would really shine and be, you know, quite shiny. But yeah, and then you can go back in if you want a little bit brighter with the yellow or the white. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so that looks like my dagger is now a flame. Okay, so done. Alright, we've added a nice little flame effect. It's only a nice, quick, simple effect how to do it. If we had the varnish on it, it would shine just as much as the rest of this. Okay, but if you don't want to put it onto a blade, you can just put it onto a bit of foam for like decoration and stuff, like I did in the previous pictures. But yeah, that's it. So, guys, I hope that helps. I hope it's a nice little trick for you to do and you can practice while we're in this lockdown. So, hope you have fun, and if you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and the bell. You'll be alerted when I go live with new stuff. You can check out all my other stuff on Instagram and Facebook, and the links in the description below. And if you guys have got any comments or anything, just let me know, okay? And we'll see what we can get on the next build. Don't forget to check out my Patreon if you want to help me and the channel grow. I'd really appreciate it. So cheers, guys. See you on the next one. Bye.